Okay, welcome back to VictorMaC. Today we'll be considering approximations, and then approximation is just a way of rounding off numbers for easy computation and giving easy report. For newscasters, they always use approximation for populations and the rest. So now, for approximations, we must be familiar with our place value. Let's just start with 100, tens, unit, then the decimal point. We have the tens, hundreds, thousands. The tens is the same as one decimal place. Having number ending at 100 is 2 decimal places, and then 1,000 is 3 decimal places. What's the meaning of this? 1 decimal place means just having a digit, the smallest place value, to be tens. That's the meaning of 1 decimal place. And then a smaller one than this, which is hundreds. If you're going to approximate to the nearest hundreds, it means we want to approximate to the nearest 2 decimal places. And then a smaller one than this, I think the smallest among these 3 is the thousands. So it's the same thing as 3 decimal places. That is, we're going to have 3 decimal places, or 3 digits after the decimal. Mind you, or don't forget that as we move to the right hand side, the place value of numbers decreases. Alright. Now, we have different degree of accuracy. As I've said, we have the tens, 100,000, which are equivalent to 1 decimal place, 2 decimal places, and 3 decimal places, respectively. Alright, so others, we have the significant figures to the nearest significant figures, maybe 1 or 2 or 3. Okay, now for significant figures, it can be 2 significant figure, 1 significant figure, but a special case is when we have zeros in between non-zeros, like this. This is a 3-digit number which is having 3 significant figures, because this 0 is in between 2 non-zeros, so it's referred to as a significant figure. But in this case, this number can be referred to as 3 significant figures, 1, 2, 3, and in some cases it can be referred to as 4 significant figures, depending on what you have rounded off to get 1010. And also we can have something like this. This number can be either 2 significant figures, 3 significant figures, 4, 5, 6 significant figures. As I've said, depending on what you have approximated to get this. Now we have 2 types of approximation or rounding off. Alright, and the last one I want to mention here before I move on to types of rounding off is approximation to the nearest whole number, or to the nearest 10, 100. The nearest whole number is a alternative way of saying approximate to the nearest unit. As if we want to have the least place value to be unit, and if you approximate to the nearest 10, we want the last significant figure to be on 10. We don't want any significant figures after 10. Doesn't mean that we're going to have the unit to be blank. We're going to replace the unit with zeros. When we see examples, we understand better. So round off. For rounding off or for approximation, we can either round up or round down. If we're having the digits from 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 behind the number we're considering for our degree of accuracy, we definitely round up. And with any of these digits, by adding 1. Alright, well, the second kind of round off or approximation we have is when the digits behind our degree of accuracy, the digits is from 0 up to 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Any of these digits appearing behind our particular degree of accuracy that we are going to, will enable us to what? Round off. Oh, sorry, round down. Sorry. Okay, so we round down, and then this means that by adding 0, nothing. So let's see examples. First one, it said round off the numbers 253.684. all right, 253.684. let's just make it like this. Okay, 253.684. first to 2 decimal places means I want to have just 2 digits after the decimal. So for the first one, the answer will be, after the decimal we have 6, but before I write 8, well, let me write for now. Before I write this 8, will my 4 round 8 up or not? It doesn't, of course it won't round it up, it will round it down. So by adding 0, so we're going to have 253.68, because we're adding 0 to 8. That is to 2 decimal places, and don't forget 2 decimal places is the same thing as to the nearest 100. all right, to 1 decimal place means to the nearest 10, so it means that I must just have 1 digit after the decimal. all right, so before I write this 1 digit, I will ask, will this immediate 8 to 6, will it round 6 up or down? Which kind of round off is this? Of course it is a round up, a rounding up, so we're going to add 1 to 6, we're going to have 7. This is to 1 decimal places, or you call it to the nearest 10th. Now, as I've said, this next one, nearest whole number, is a technical way of saying to the nearest unit. This is, I want the smallest place value to be unit. I don't want anything after unit. I don't want the 10th, I don't want the 100th, downward like that. So for this one, the nearest whole number means 2, 5. Before I write my unit, which is 3, I will ask number behind 3, after the decimal point, is 6. Will 6 round this one up or down? Definitely it's going to round it up. We're going to have 1 added to 3, that's 4. all right, and that's our answer. Of course, in some cases we can write this as 0.0, as many zeros you want, but we can also leave our answer like this, preferably. So this is to the nearest whole number, to nearest whole number. Okay, all right, the last one, the nearest 100, meaning that I must have the least place value to be on 100. That is where I'm going to have my significant figures. No other place value must be smaller than 100 that will be having significant figures. all right, so here now, 200. Oh, 200. So before I write this place value, which is 100, because this is 10, this is our unit, before I write this 2, I will ask, will this 5 round this up? Yeah, definitely to round it up, so we're going to have 3. And then at this point, we fill in with zeros up to the units. We can also write it as 300.000, but just leave it like this. So 300 to the nearest 100. all right, nearest 100. In this case, just this particular case, this fourth example coincides to approximation to the nearest 1 significant figures. Let's see example precisely on significant figures. Number 2 is a round off 246.38 to 1 significant figure. For this one, I just want 1 digit. So will this 4 round 2 up? No, so we're going to have 200. I've added 0 to 2 by that. all right, we only consider the immediate digit to that 100, I mean to our 1 or the first significant figure, which is having the highest place value. all right, so this is to 1 significant figures. all right, we can try to write as 200.00, but let's leave it this way. For the next one, 2 significant figures, it is after the first. Before I write the second, let's look at it again. Will 4 be rounded up or down by 6? Of course, it's rounded up, so we're going to add 1 to 4, we're going to have 5, and then we fill in with zeros up to the unit, as I've said, we can decide to add zeros like after the point, so 250.000. Okay. The third one, 3 significant figures, we're going to have first digit, the second digit, and then before we write the third to make up 3 significant figures, this third one, will it be rounded up by 3, the immediate digits? No. So it's going to be rounded down, so we're going to add 0 to 6, we have 6 to 3 significant figures. And then the last one, to 4 significant figures, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, the fourth digit. Before I write the fourth one, I'm going to ask, will this 3, will the 3 here be rounded up by 8 or not? Of course, we rounded up, so we're going to have 4. And then you can fill up with zeros to 4 significant figures. Don't forget, answer in A can be written as 200.00, the B can be written as 250.00, and then C 246.00. So if you see this, probably you're dealing with objective questions, then it's the same as what we have here respectively. Okay, the last one, yes, this is a special example where looking at the unit, which is our first highest place value, it is not significant or non-significant, so we discard that, we don't count from there. Likewise, the tenth, the next higher place value is hundredths, but these are all non-significant, so we start counting from where? From 3. All right, so my first significant value is 3, so let's just put in all these zeros as dummy, values. All right, 3. Before I write this 3, the question I'll ask myself, will this immediate digit, which is 4, will it round 3 up or not? It will round it down, not up. That's the kind of round off we're going to have. So here we're going to add 0 to 3, that's 3 to 1 significant figures. Number 2, the same way, our highest place value, the first 3 higher place values are not significant, so we just write them. We start from here, 1. Before I write this second one, which is 4, will 8 round 4 up? Yes, so we're going to have 1 added to 4, that's 5. So to 2 significant figures. And then the last one, the 3 significant figures, 0.00. Then the first, the second, and then when we had 1 to this, because of 7, of course we round 8 up, so we have 9. 3 is okay, just one more. If I have 2999 and I'm to approximate this to 1 significant figures, this is the highest place value, my 1000. Before I write the 2, I'll think, will 9 round this up? Yes, of course, so we're going to add 1 to that, 3, and then filling with zeros up to the units. 0 is our 100, 0 is tens, and 0 is unit. That's how you do it to 1 significant figures. All right, but if you're dealing with, well, to approximate to the 2 significant figures, after writing first one, the second one will be rounded up by this 9, and when we add 1 to this 9, we're going to have 3 0. So this will also have 3 0 0 0. This is 2 significant figures. And then if I were to approximate 299 to 3 significant figures, I'm going to have 1, 2, and then before I write the third one, I will ask, will this 9 round this one up? Yes. So when I add 1 to this, I'm going to have 300. So this will become 300. But we fill in this unit with 0, just like I did for this one. I filled it with 0. All right. Now, I think you better understand that sometimes numbers like this can be referred to as 1 significant figure, 2 significant figure, and 3 significant figures. All right. Now look at this question. Do it yourself. Pause the video at this moment, and then try it. After you are done solving, then you see the answer. So take your time to pause. All right, here we go. These are the answers. All right, these are the answers we have here. For the first one, it is 7.03 to the nearest 3 significant figures. For the second one, to the nearest 2 significant figures, it is 61.00 or 61. For the third one, it is 14.1 to the nearest 1 decimal place, or you call it nearest 10th. And then the last one, the answer is 260,000 to the nearest 3 significant figures. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.